Imagine you're walking through a bustling market in northern Thailand at dusk. The air is thick with the scent of earthy herbs, wood smoke, and something totally unexpected, like the sharp aroma of bamboo worms or even ant eggs.
Ah, yeah. Welcome to the Real English channel, everyone. It's so interesting how those bizarre smells can actually be the gateway to a deep cultural delicacy. What might make a visitor raise an eyebrow is often a sustainable tradition rooted in history.
Exactly. It's all about that mindset of a global citizen, approaching the unfamiliar with respect. Whether it's the misty mountains of the north or the bustling streets of Bangkok, Thai cuisine is this incredible symphony of sweet, sour, and spicy notes.
It really is a colorful map of different culinary personalities. So let's dive into the heart of these flavors and explore how geography and tradition shape every bite.
You know, Eli, when people talk about Thai food, they always mention the heat. It's almost like a badge of honor. Can you handle the spice? But after looking at how these flavors actually work, it feels like focusing only on the chilies is like listening to an orchestra and only hearing the drums. There is so much more going on under the surface.
That is such a perfect way to put it. It really is an orchestra. In the culinary world, we talk about the 5 fundamental tastes: sweet, sour, salty, spicy, and bitter. Most cuisines might highlight 2 or 3, but Thai food is unique because it tries to get all 5 onto the stage at the same time. It's what they call rote chart, the internal balance of tastes. If one note is too loud, the whole song feels off.
I love that. And it's not just about throwing ingredients together. It's a deliberate, almost scientific layering. I was fascinated to learn that even bitterness, which a lot of Western palates shy away from, is a key player. It's not there to be unpleasant, it's there to add depth. You might get it from a bit of bitter melon, or the specific char from a piece of meat grilled over real charcoal. It acts as a counterweight to the sweetness.
Right. And the sweetness itself isn't what you'd find in a dessert. They often use palm sugar, which has this deep, caramel, almost earthy quality. It's not just sugar. It's a tool used to mellow out the sharp acidity of a lime or the stinging heat of a bird's eye chili. And then you have the saltiness, which usually comes from fish sauce, nam pla, or shrimp paste. These aren't just salt substitutes. They provide that deep, fermented umami that forms the floor of the dish.
It's interesting you mention fish sauce, because that's often the biggest hurdle for people new to the cuisine. If you smell it straight from the bottle, it's intense. But once it's in the wok, it transforms.
It really does. It becomes invisible but essential. It's the savory backbone. And then you have the sour notes: tamarind, lime, or even green mango. That acidity is what makes the food feel bright or lively. It cuts through the richness of coconut milk or the oil of a stir-fry. When you have a bowl of tom yum soup, you're experiencing that full symphony. You've got the spicy chilies, the sour lime and lemongrass, the salty fish sauce, and just enough sugar to pull it all together.
And it's a living symphony too, because it's adjustable. I was surprised to find out that Thai food is actually designed to be finished at the table. You see those little condiment caddies, the krung prung, with the sugar, dried chilies, vinegar, and fish sauce. It's like the chef is giving you the conductor's baton and saying, okay, I've set the stage, now you fine-tune the balance for your own palate.
Exactly. It makes the dining experience so personal. If it's too spicy for you, you add a bit of sugar. If it's too flat, you hit it with some lime or fish sauce. It's a very democratic way of eating. It assumes that perfect balance is actually a personal destination, not a fixed point.
It also means the chef has to be incredibly skilled to create a base that can handle those adjustments. It's all about the interplay. If a dish tastes too sour, a local might tell you it's actually missing balance, not that it has too much lime. It might just need a pinch of salt or sugar to bring it back into harmony.
That's a great insight. It's about the relationship between the flavors. It reminds me of the role of rice in all of this. We often think of rice as a side dish, but in Thailand, it's the anchor. Whether it's the soft, fragrant jasmine rice of the Central Plains or the chewy, sticky rice of the North, it provides the neutral ground that allows these intense, complex flavors to exist without overwhelming you. You're not just eating a curry, you're eating a companion to the rice.
Right. The rice is the canvas, and the dishes are the paint. It explains why portions might look smaller than what we're used to in the West. They're meant to be eaten with plenty of rice to balance out the strength of the seasonings. It's a completely different architecture of a meal.
You know, Lena, if the flavor balance is the soul of the food, the aromatics are definitely its personality. And the secret to that personality is how they're prepared. In a world of blenders and food processors, the traditional Thai kitchen still relies heavily on the stone mortar and pestle.
It's such a tactile image, the rhythmic thumping you hear coming from shop houses and street stalls. There's something almost primal about it. But is there a functional reason for it, or is it just tradition?
Oh, there's a huge functioning reason. When you blend ingredients, you're essentially slicing them into tiny bits. But when you pound them in a mortar, you're crushing the cell walls. That releases the essential oils and resins in a way that a blade just can't. It's the difference between chopped garlic and a garlic paste that's been bruised until it's oily and fragrant.
That makes so much sense. It's like the difference between a perfume that's been sprayed and the actual flower being crushed in your hand. And the ingredients they're pounding are so specific too. We're talking about the holy trinity of Thai aromatics: lemongrass, galangal, and kaffir lime.
Right, and those three are the backbone of almost everything. Lemongrass gives that floral, citrusy scent without the sharp acid. Galangal is the spicy, peppery cousin of ginger, but it's much more medicinal and earthy. You can't really substitute ginger for it without losing the soul of the dish. And then those kaffir lime leaves, or mukrat lime leaves, they have this intense, unmistakable perfume. Thais will tear them or slice them paper thin to release that scent right at the end of cooking.
It's interesting how freshness is defined here. It's not just about the ingredients being picked recently. It's about the aromatics being added at the very last second so the oils don't cook away. You see it in soups where the herbs are almost raw when the bowl hits the table.
Absolutely. And then you have the roots. I think most people toss cilantro roots in the trash, but in Thailand, they're a secret weapon. They have this deep, peppery, earthy flavor that's much more intense than the leaves. They get pounded into marinades for grilled meats like mu ping, those famous pork skewers, and it gives the meat this incredible depth that makes it so addictive.
I love that idea of using the whole plant. It's so resourceful. And it's not just fresh herbs, it's also the pastes. When you see a vendor frying up a curry paste, you might notice the oil starts to separate. They call it the oil split.
Yes, that's a huge technical marker. If you see the oil rising to the top of a coconut curry, a lot of people might think it's too greasy, but in Thai cooking, that's actually a sign of success. It means the coconut milk has reduced enough for the fat to separate and actually toast the aromatics in the curry paste. That's when the flavors are truly unlocked. If you don't get the oil split, the curry can taste raw or flat.
That's a great tip for anyone trying to cook this at home. Wait for the oil. It's that patience that separates a good curry from a great one. And it all goes back to that mortar and pestle. The texture of a hand-pounded paste is intentionally uneven. You might get a little burst of lemongrass here or a hit of chili there. It makes every bite slightly different.
It keeps the palate interested. It's not a uniform processed experience, it's lively. And speaking of lively, we have to talk about the chilies. Thais use them in so many forms: fresh, dried, toasted, or pounded into a paste. Each one does something different. A fresh bird's eye chili gives you that sharp, immediate sting, while a toasted dried chili gives you a deep, smoky, lingering warmth.
It's a whole spectrum of heat. And it's not just for the sake of being hot. The heat acts as a flavor enhancer. It opens up your taste buds so you can experience the sweet and sour notes more intensely. It's like a spotlight for the other ingredients.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's functional heat. And when you combine that heat with the aromatics and the fermented depth of shrimp paste or fish sauce, you get this incredibly complex foundation. It's what makes Thai food so hard to replicate if you're missing even one of those pieces. It's a puzzle where every piece is essential.
We've been talking about Thai food as this one big thing, but the more you look into it, the more you realize there isn't just one Thai cuisine. It's more like a collection of regional personalities that are wildly different from each other.
You're so right. If you traveled from the far north down to the islands in the south, you'd feel like you were crossing international borders in terms of flavor. The geography, the climate, the history, it all changes what's on the plate.
Let's start in the north, the old Lana Kingdom. It's cooler there, more mountainous, and the food reflects that. It feels, earthier?
Earthy is the perfect word. You see a lot less coconut milk in the north because coconuts don't grow as well in that cooler climate. Instead, they rely on forest products, mushrooms, bitter herbs, and local vegetables. And the heat is different too. It's more of a slow, aromatic warmth from dried spices rather than the searing sting of fresh chilies. They have these incredible herbal sausages called sayua that are just packed with lemongrass and kaffir lime.
And the rice, that's where sticky rice, khao niao, really takes center stage. It's not just a side, it's the utensil. You pinch off a little ball of it and use it to scoop up these intense pounded chili dips called nam prik. It's a very communal, tactile way of eating.
It's so satisfying. And then you compare that to the Northeast, the Isan region. That's a whole other world. It's a tougher landscape, often quite dry, and the people there are incredibly resourceful. Isan food is probably the most distinct and honestly the most popular across the whole country because so many people have moved from Isan to work in cities like Bangkok.
Isan food is what I think of when I want bold. It's fiery, it's sour, and it's got that signature funk from fermented fish, pla ra. That's where the iconic sam tam papaya salad comes from, right?
Exactly. And the authentic Isan version of sam tam bu pla ra, is a far cry from the sweet peanut-heavy version you often get in tourist spots. It's salty, it's pungent, and it's incredibly spicy. Isan food is designed to be eaten with plenty of sticky rice to help manage that intensity. It's the food of the fields, simple, high impact, and deeply social.
It's like the rock and roll of Thai cuisine. It's loud and unapologetic. But then you move down to the Central Plains around Bangkok, and everything gets a bit more refined.
Right. The central region is the melting pot. It's the fertile heart of the country where the rice grows in abundance. This is where you find the classic dishes most people know, the green curries, the pad thai. The flavors here are all about that perfect, elegant balance. Nothing is allowed to dominate. It's also where royal Thai cuisine originated, which takes that refinement to an extreme level. Think intricately carved vegetables and flavors that are perfectly moderated.
It's like the classical music to Isan's rock and roll. And then you head south, and the volume goes back up, but in a totally different way.
Oh, the South is a whole different beast. It's tropical, it's coastal, and it is the spiciest food in the country. Because they have such a long history of trade with India and the Malay world, you see a lot of dried spices like turmeric and cumin. The curries are often bright yellow and incredibly hot. They use a lot of seafood, obviously, and they use coconut milk to support the spice rather than just to mellow it out.
I've heard that even Thais from other regions find southern food to be a challenge. It's a serious level of heat.
It really is. They have this dish called gang thai pla, which is a curry made with fermented fish entrails. It is intensely savory, incredibly spicy, and definitely an acquired taste for most. But it shows you the diversity, from the mild herbal broths of the north to the fiery turmeric-stained seafood of the south. It's why you can never get bored with Thai food. You're always just one province away from a completely new flavor profile.
It's fascinating how the geography dictates the ingredients, which then dictates the soul of the dish. It makes me realize that when we ask for Thai food, we're actually asking for a whole map of flavors.
You know, Lena, one of the things I love most about eating in Thailand isn't just what's on the plate, it's how the meal actually happens. It's a fundamentally communal experience. The idea of ordering one big plate of food just for yourself is actually quite rare in a traditional Thai setting.
It's so different from the starter, main, dessert structure we're used to in the West. In Thailand, it's all about the spread. You sit down and the table just starts filling up with bowls.
Exactly. There's no my dish and your dish, there's only our meal. This reflects these deep-seated Thai values. Nam jai, which is this generosity of spirit, and sanuk, the idea of finding joy in the moment. When you share a meal, you're not just consuming calories, you're engaging in a social ritual.
And the table is designed for variety, right? You wouldn't just order 3 different curries. You'd want a balance of textures and cooking methods.
Precisely. A well-balanced Thai table is like a mini ecosystem. You might have a rich, creamy curry, a bright and spicy soup like tom yum, a dry stir-fry for texture, and maybe a fresh herbal salad to cleanse the palate. And of course, the rice in the middle. It's all about the interplay between the dishes. You take a spoonful of curry, then a bite of the spicy salad, then a sip of the soup.
The flavors are meant to interact.
I love the etiquette of it too. It's very egalitarian, but also respectful. You're supposed to take just 1 or 2 spoonfuls of a dish at a time, put it on your rice, eat that, and then go back for something else. It's not about piling your plate high.
Right, it's a slow, deliberate way of eating. It encourages conversation because you're constantly passing plates and suggesting things to each other. Oh, you have to try this stir fry, or is the soup too spicy for you? It turns the meal into a dialogue. And there's this beautiful tradition where the younger people will serve the elders first, or friends will instinctively refill each other's rice bowls. It's these small acts of generosity that build connection.
It's such a warm way to dine. And it's interesting how this communal style actually helps with the flavor balance we were talking about earlier. If one dish is particularly fiery, you balance it out with a bite of something milder or a big spoonful of rice. The variety is your safety net.
Absolutely. It also makes it much easier to try new things. You're not committing to an entire plate of something you've never had before. You're just taking a little taste. It's the perfect way for a curious traveler to explore the cuisine.
But what about eating out? I've noticed that for many Thais, eating out isn't a special occasion. It's just life.
You've hit on something really important. In many Thai homes, especially in the cities, the kitchens are tiny or almost non-existent. Cooking a full, balanced meal with 5 different dishes is a huge amount of work, so people rely on their local vendors. It's often cheaper, faster, and honestly better than cooking at home.
So the street is effectively the country's dining room.
It really is. Whether it's grabbing a quick bowl of noodles on the way to work or meeting friends at a night market, eating is a public, social activity. It's why you see people of all walks of life, office workers, students, monks, all sitting on those same little plastic stools at a street stall. In that moment, the food is the great equalizer.
It's a beautiful image. It's not just about the convenience, it's about the community. Even if you're eating alone at a stall, you're surrounded by the life of the street. You're never truly eating alone.
That's so true, and it explains why the food is so consistently good. These vendors are specialists. They might only make one dish, say Khao Moon Gai, the poached chicken and rice, but they've been making it every day for 30 years. They've perfected it. They have to, because their local customers are experts. If the quality drops, the neighborhood will know.
It's a high-stakes environment for the chef, but a win for the diner. It's that combination of specialization and community that makes the street food scene so vibrant. It's not a tourist attraction, it's the heartbeat of the culture. Speaking of the heartbeat of the culture, we have to talk about the street food itself. For a lot of visitors, the idea of eating on the sidewalk can be a little intimidating at first. But in Thailand, that's where the most real flavors are, right?
Oh, absolutely. If you only eat in air-conditioned restaurants, you're missing out on the soul of Thai cooking. Street food is a practical response to how people live. It's fresh, it's fast, and because the turnover is so high, it's often safer and fresher than a fancy place where the ingredients might be sitting in a fridge for days.
That's a great point. High turnover equals fresh ingredients. But how do you actually navigate it? If you're standing on a busy corner in Bangkok and there are 20 different carts, how do you choose?
The golden rule is simple: follow the locals. If you see a stall with a long line of office workers or a group of students, that's your quality seal. Locals won't wait in line for mediocre food. And look for specialization. The best vendors are the ones who do one thing and do it perfectly. If a cart only has a pile of chickens hanging in the window, that's your spot for chicken rice. If they have a massive bubbling pot of dark broth, you found the boat noodles.
I love that idea of one dish done well. It's the opposite of those giant menus you see in tourist restaurants that try to do everything. And the sounds and smells are part of the experience too. The clanging of the wok, the smell of pork grilling over charcoal.
It's a total sensory immersion. Take something like mu ping, those grilled pork skewers. The scent of that caramelized marinade hitting the charcoal is like the signature morning perfume of Bangkok. You grab 3 skewers and a little bag of sticky rice for a few cents, and you've got a breakfast that's better than anything in a 5-star hotel.
And then there are the boat noodles, Guai Tio Rua. Those have such a cool history, right?
They really do. They were originally sold from small boats along the canals of Bangkok. The bowls are intentionally tiny so they wouldn't spill while the vendor was paddling. Today, you can find boat noodle alleys where you sit on land, but the bowls are still small. The fun is in ordering 5 or 6 different versions and stacking the empty bowls on your table like a trophy. The broth is incredibly intense. It's thickened with a bit of blood, which gives it this deep, savory umami that's just unreal.
Don't let the blood scare you, should be the motto for adventurous eaters. It's all about that depth of flavor. And what about the DIY aspect? I've noticed that even on the street, you're expected to season your own food.
Always. Every noodle stall will have a tray of condiments: sugar, dried chili flakes, fish sauce, and vinegar with pickled chilies. The vendor gives you the base, but you're the one who decides exactly how spicy or sour it should be. It's that rote chart balance again. You're the final chef.
It's so empowering. But what about the practical stuff? Like, how do you order if you don't speak Thai?
Honestly, pointing is a perfectly valid and respected form of communication. Point at the ingredients you want or point at what someone else is eating and give a thumbs up. Thais are incredibly patient, and they love it when people appreciate their food. And if you learn just a few phrases, like my pet for not spicy or pet neat noi for a little spicy, it goes a long way.
And the prices. You can eat a full, delicious meal for $2 or $3. It makes you realize how accessible good food is there.
It really is. But it's important to remember that street food follows a rhythm. A stall that's famous for breakfast might be gone by 10 a.m. A night market might only start humming at 6 p.m. The city changes its menu depending on the time of day. It's a living, breathing food system.
It sounds like a treasure hunt that never ends. You just have to be willing to step off the sidewalk and join the flow.
Exactly. And once you have that first perfect bowl of noodles or that charred pork skewer while sitting on a plastic stool as the motorbikes zip past, you'll never want to eat any other way.
We've painted this beautiful picture of the street food scene, but I know a lot of listeners are probably thinking, okay, but what about my stomach? There's always that fear of traveler's tummy when you're exploring a new food culture, especially one as intense as Thailand's.
It's a totally valid concern, but a lot of the fears are actually based on misconceptions. Most stomach issues visitors experience aren't actually from bad food. It's usually just the spice shock or the heat shock. Your body is suddenly dealing with 10 times more chili than it's used to, plus the tropical humidity and maybe a bit of dehydration.
That's so interesting. So it's not necessarily a hygiene issue, it's just your system trying to recalibrate.
Often, yes. Even locals who eat spicy food every day sometimes have to, well, let's say they have a quick reaction to a particularly fiery meal. In Thailand, that's often seen as a normal bodily response, not necessarily a sign of being ill. But there are definitely ways to be smart about it.
Like the busy stall rule we mentioned earlier?
That's number one. High turnover is your best friend. If the food is moving fast, it doesn't have time to sit around. Also, watch the food being cooked. If you see it coming straight out of a hot wok or off a glowing grill, the heat has killed most of the bacteria. The things to be more cautious with are pre-cut fruit that's been sitting out in the sun, or buffet-style trays where you don't know how long they've been there.
What about the ice? I've heard conflicting things about whether it's safe to have ice in your drinks.
In 2026, ice in Thailand is actually very safe in most urban areas. It's produced in commercial factories using filtered water. You can usually recognize it by its shape. It's often those little hollow tubes. Locals use a ton of ice in everything, sodas, teas, even beer, because it's so hot. If the ice looks like it was hacked off a big dirty block on the back of a truck, maybe skip it. But the factory-made stuff is generally fine.
That's a relief, because a cold Thai iced tea, chayen, is pretty much essential for survival in that heat. But speaking of health, there's a growing trend in Thailand toward being more mindful of sugar and waste, right?
There really is. It's a fascinating modern shift. For a while, Thai food, especially the mass market versions, was getting increasingly sweet. But recently, the Department of Health introduced these new guidelines. Now, a normal sweetness level for made-to-order drinks is actually 50% of what it used to be. You'll see people asking for one noi, less sweet, all the time now.
I love that. It shows the culture is evolving. And what about food waste? In a city as food-obsessed as Bangkok, that must be a huge challenge.
It is. But there are these cool new platforms, like Yindi, that are all about rescuing surplus food. They connect people with cafes and restaurants that have perfectly good food left over at the end of the day. It's a way to get high-quality treats or meals at a discount while being more mindful of the environment. It's adding this new, modern layer to the traditional food culture.
It's like the best of both worlds. The traditional mastery of the street vendors combined with a modern, sustainable mindset. It makes the whole experience feel more responsible.
Exactly. And for people with dietary restrictions, like vegans or those with allergies, things are becoming more transparent too. While vegetarian in Thailand often still includes fish sauce, there's the J tradition, marked by those yellow and red signs, which is strictly vegan and even avoids pungent things like garlic and onions.
So if you see the yellow sign with the red character, you know you're in safe territory for vegan food.
Precisely. And for allergies, especially peanuts, communication is key. Peanuts are in everything from pad Thai to certain curries, so having a card with your allergy written in Thai can be a lifesaver. But overall, the food system is incredibly robust. If you approach it with a bit of common sense and a lot of curiosity, you're going to be fine.
It's about being an informed guest. You respect the traditions, you're mindful of your own limits, and you enjoy the incredible variety.
Okay, Lena, we've covered the what and the why, but let's get into the how. If someone is heading to Thailand and they want to eat like a local, what are the boots-on-the-ground tips they need?
I think the biggest one is to let go of the idea of meal times. In Thailand, people eat when they're hungry. You might have 5 or 6 small meals throughout the day instead of 3 big ones. It's much better for your energy levels in the heat too.
That's a great one. And don't be afraid of the solo eat. It's completely normal to pull up a stool and have a quick bowl of noodles by yourself. You won't stick out at all. But if you are in a group, remember the start when it arrives rule. Since dishes are cooked to order, they might come out at different times. Don't wait until the table is full and let the food get cold. Just dive in.
What about the utensils? I know people often reach for chopsticks, but that's not always the right move, is it?
Right! Chopsticks are generally for noodle soups and Chinese influence dishes. For almost everything else, especially rice dishes, the standard tools are a spoon and a fork. And here's the key. The fork is just there to push food onto the spoon. You don't actually put the fork in your mouth. The spoon is the star of the show.
That's such a common mistake. It feels a bit like using a shovel and a rake. The spoon does the heavy lifting. And what about paying? Is there a tipping culture?
Not really at street stalls or casual shop houses. You might leave the small change, the coins, behind, but a big tip isn't expected and might even be confusing for the vendor. In more upscale restaurants, it's becoming more common, but on the street, it's not necessary. And speaking of money, carry small bills. Handing a 1,000 baht note to a street vendor for a 50 baht meal is a bit of a headache for them.
Good to know. Keep those 20s and 50s handy. And what about the mall food courts? I've heard those are actually a great place for beginners to start.
Oh, they're fantastic. Don't think of them like mall food in the US. In Thailand, food courts are often where some of the best vendors move when they want a more permanent, air-conditioned spot. They use a card or token system. You load money onto a card at a central counter, use it to pay the vendors, and then get a refund for whatever you didn't spend when you leave. It's clean, it's predictable, and it lets you see all the dishes before you choose.
It's like a safe mode for street food. You get the variety without the humidity. And for those who want to go deeper, there are actually visas now, like the DTV, that let you stay long-term to really study the cuisine, right?
Yeah, the DTV is a game changer for foodies. You can stay for up to 5 years if you're enrolled in the culinary program. Imagine spending a whole year moving through modules on Northern, Isan, Central, and Southern cooking. You'd get to really understand the techniques, the pounding, the stir-frying, the oil split curries, and explore the local markets at your own pace.
That sounds like a dream. But even if you're only there for a week, the goal is the same. Be curious, be respectful, and don't be afraid to try something that looks a little bizarre.
Exactly. If you see something and you don't know what it is, ask, "Aroy mai? Is it delicious?" The vendor will almost certainly give you a big smile and a yes. And they're usually right.
It's about that Sanook spirit, finding the joy in the discovery. Every meal is an opportunity to learn something new about the culture.
And don't forget the desserts. A meal isn't complete without something sweet to balance out the spice. Whether it's the classic mango sticky rice, best in the hot season from March to June, or those little custardy coconut pancakes called kanom krok, they're the perfect finishers.
I'm getting hungry just talking about this. It really is a complete sensory journey.
So as we wrap things up, I'm thinking about how much more there is to Thai food than just the recipes. It's this living, breathing connection to history and geography and community.
It really is. When you taste a dish like masaman curry, you're not just tasting a delicious meal, you're tasting centuries of trade with Persia and India. When you eat a bowl of northern khao soi, you're tasting the influence of Myanmar and the mountainous landscape. The food is the story of the people.
And it's a story that's still being written. From the traditional street vendors who have been perfecting one dish for decades, to the modern cafes that are rethinking sugar levels and food waste. It's a culture that respects its past, but isn't afraid to evolve.
That's the beauty of it. It's authentic because it's real. It's what people actually eat every day. It's not a performance for tourists. Whether you're sitting on a plastic stool in a busy alley or sharing a spread of curries with friends at a big round table, you're participating in a ritual that's at the very heart of Thai life.
I think that's the biggest takeaway for me. The idea of balance. Not just the balance of the 5 flavors on the plate, but the balance of relationships around the table. The Namjai spirit of generosity and the Sanuk spirit of joy.
You've hit the nail on the head. If we can take a bit of that balance home with us, that idea of slowing down, sharing, and approaching the unfamiliar with a smile, then we've learned something much more valuable than just a few new recipes.
So to everyone listening, I hope this has inspired you to look a little closer at your next Thai meal. Maybe try that extra spicy isan salad, or be a bit more adventurous with the condiments at the table.
And remember, you don't need a lot of money or a fancy reservation to have a world-class culinary experience. Sometimes all you need is a busy street corner, a curious palate, and a willingness to join the flow of the land of smiles.
It's a journey that starts with a single bite, but stays with you long after the trip is over. Those memories of the sizzling woks and the shared laughter at a night market, that's the real magic of Thailand. Absolutely. It's a flavor that lingers in your soul. Thank you so much for joining us on this flavorful journey through Thai cuisine. It's been such a joy to explore these stories and traditions with you all.
We hope you feel empowered to go out and discover your own favorite dishes and hidden gems. There's a whole world of flavor waiting for you on every street corner.
Take a moment today to reflect on how the food you eat connects you to other cultures and people, and maybe, just maybe, start planning your next culinary adventure.
Happy eating, everyone! It's been a blast.
Thanks for listening to the Real English channel. We'll see you out there in the world.